So we have a hot demon in the city too, I promised you that. Okay, but it's different than what you think. It is actually a book. I have the author with us, Connie Suttle. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's nice to be here.
This is so fun. I mean, you write these books, they're like sci-fi, they're, yeah, okay, there's a weird name for urban fantasy. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a bit, but we have to also include Debra Salazar because you two have a little connection going on, and it's like this guy right here, Tiburon Demonio. All right, so how in the world, and he's in one of your books.
Yeah, he first appears in this book right
Hot
here.
Demon in the City.
Yeah, Hot Demon in the City.
All right.
And he, it's like I first met Debra, what was it, a year ago?
Yes.
At a convention in Las Vegas, and she brought me Snark. I mean, he didn't have a name when he first showed up, but I mean, there's a big story behind that, and we won't go into it
But you
now.
had loved her books. You
Yeah.
had loved Connie's books for a long time.
I have read Connie's books, and I looked up when I got my first book from you, and that was Blood Wager, and that was in September of 2011. And I have read every single book Connie has produced
Oh
since.
my goodness.
She's fabulous.
How many books?
Somewhere in the 40s. It's like I can't remember anymore.
Phenomenal. So every one of these
That's
books you
sad.
have on the desk represents about 10 at least, you know, behind
Yeah.
it. Okay, so you went to actually meet Connie,
I
and you had
did.
something in your pocket.
Oh, and I actually, and bless her heart, I dressed up as a character from one of her books, a chef from.
The High Demon series, yeah.
Yes, and I.
So not a demon? No.
No, and I was the chef with a hat, and I had 3 of the rats in my pockets, and I just walked up to her booth and I said hi, and she, you know.
She recognized you as the character.
Yes.
And it was marvelous.
Lovely. And then you pulled out the rats, and you fell in love with the rats.
Yes, exactly. And when she said that she had actually brought this rat for me, it was just like, oh my God.
I know, because don't you? They're just real. That you just fall in love with them. You don't have to clean the litter box or anything. You know.
Yeah,
But-
exactly. And the thing was, it's like he has such a look on his face, like he's spoiling for a fight. And so, you know, we ran a fan contest to name him. So, you know, the fans were the ones who actually gave him the name Tiburon Snark Demonio. And so once
he
we
does have
did,
a snarky look
yeah,
on
he
his
really
little
does.
face.
And so
like a
once
city
that
rat.
happened, it's like, you know what, this guy really needs to go in a book. And so I knew I was going to write this one, and he went into it as one of the major characters. And he is a rat shapeshifter, and he, in his human form, he is actually a boxer, a middleweight boxer, who is very good at his
so
job.
he's a human too, a
Yes,
snarky human.
he is a shapeshifter. So yes, it's like it was just too good to pass up.
Well, your books are fantasy. I mean, again, shape-shifting, vampires,
Yes.
you know, all kinds of you know, demons.
Yes.
These are what you write about. Now, you say urban fantasy. Well, explain that a little bit.
Urban fantasy is more like, you know, it takes place on Earth, but, you know, with supernatural creatures. I mean, they could be shapeshifters, they could be demons, they could be almost anything. It's like you take the normal and then add the paranormal to it.
Got it.
And so that's pretty much urban fantasy.
So white blood, vampires, rats, demons. My goodness, are these dark or what?
No, they're
No.
really not.
No, they're not
really
dark.
Actually,
aren't.
they're fun. I have been reading. Yes, Hot Demon in the City.
Yeah, I mean, the characters tend to have a sense of humor, which is, you know, something I always look for in a character. You know, when I read a book, you know, and everybody is just so dead serious, it's just like, well, you know, does nobody think something is funny?
Let's have a laugh here,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. So yeah, it's like they usually end up, you know, cracking jokes at times, and you know, it does get serious a lot of the time, but
Sure.
It's
But
not
why are you
all the time.
fascinated with that? I mean, you've been writing for a long time.
oh, it's what I've
obviously,
read
so-
forever. I mean, it's just what I mean, I started out reading like fairy tales, fantasy, and then I went to science fiction. It's what I absolutely love, and it's you know, if I were going to write anything, this would be it.
Obviously terribly popular as well. I mean, Blood Wager. Now, this is the one you said you first read,
Yes.
was Blood Wager.
And that's
so
a
these are
vampire.
not teen fantasies. These are adult fantasies as well.
Yes.
Okay, so reading for everyone, anyone.
Yes, and there's, she has 2 wonderful books, Bumble and Wyvern for 14, and
Yeah,
the
those
youngest
So
are
you
for
do
the
have some
younger-
young adults.
Yes,
Okay.
not all of them, obviously. But yeah, the Erin Dicty series, which Bumble is the first book in that series, and then Wyvern and Company is sort of a standalone, and it's also geared more toward, you know, like the teen crowd. It's a
Okay.
coming of age type thing.
Yeah, well, I bet you Deborah's read those too, haven't you?
I have read Connie's books several times. They are actually books that I consider keeper shelf, and I have reread them, and I love them each time.
Wow, isn't that wonderful? Well, they just look so fun. Again, I've started Hot Demon. I didn't get through it yet, Hot Demon in the City, but they are series. Do people need to read these in order, some of them?
Some of them, although, you know, you could probably pick up Hot Demon and the other books in that series and get away with it. And Wyvern and Company, definitely you could read on its own. And the Erin Dicty series is sort of a standalone.
Where do you get your ideas? They're
Oh
so
gosh,
fascinating.
they come from
you know?
everywhere.
They just
They just-
fly in on
yeah.
black wings.
Exactly.
Well, and I suppose the more you write, the more, you know, your imagination
it
is
sort of
sparked,
just
that kind of
feeds on
thing.
itself. I mean, there is one character. I mean, we're going back to the Bumble series, or the Erin Dicty series, actually. The young boy starts out at 12, you know, and he turns out to be a bumblebee bat shapeshifter. And you know, all of his friends in school are like bigger, meaner, nastier shapeshifters, and here he is, this little tiny bat.
A little
And so, you know, it's just cause for hilarity, you know, mostly, and he gets teased a lot about it, but then he ends up being like very, very powerful in
Like
his own
the
right.
hero
Yeah, so,
guy.
yes.
I tell you what, I don't know if my imagination would stretch that wild to write something like that.
I am so amazed at
But this
Connie's
is
mind. It's,
fascinating.
yeah, I just find you amazing.
So I have to ask you this now. Of course, Snark is a major character in Hot Demon in the City, and Snark is just too adorable. I see this as like a line of products or something for your books. You know how they put out a movie and you have to have the character and everything. Do you intend to, you know, keep the partnership up? Or are you going to write other of Deborah's
We're
characters?
friends now. I mean,
Yeah, we've been
it's
friends.
like, yeah, we've been friends ever since we met. So yeah, nothing's going to break that up.
Well, I noticed when we came in, you were very possessive of the wolf here, and I wondered if he's going to be in something.
Well, he already is.
Oh, he is?
Yes, yes. In fact, you'll find him in the first series, the Blood Destiny series.
Oh.
His name is Trajan, and he is the second in command, let's say, to the Dallas Packmaster.
Okay, I'm loving this because I'm seeing this team up because we all love three-dimensional. I would never give my books up, but to have it illustrated with an adorable three-dimensional, I think you guys are in business for a long time.
I think so.
And friends. Wonderful to have you on, Connie Suttle and also Debra Salazar. Thank you so much. So very
Thank you.
talented, both
Thank
of
you so much.
Thank you. Don't go away. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back on Morning Scramble.